Hello, everybody. It is playoff action here tonight from West Fargo Sheyenne High School here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. 51 degrees, sunny with a gentle breeze. It's the number 1 seed, the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs, who are 9-0 on the year, coming in against the number 8 Minot Magicians, who are 2-7. Jackson Miller here on the call tonight, along with Aaron Canolo and Dan Wolf. Guys, how you feeling? We finally, it's playoff season here. 3 weeks, we'll find out who the state champion is here eventually, but tonight we kick off the playoffs.
Yeah, man, it's 0-0. Everybody starts over, and I think that's what's exciting. You might have all sorts of preconceived notions about how games could play out, but you got to play the game for a reason. Everybody's 0-0, and it all starts now.
Absolutely. I don't think Minot came here on another trip thinking or dwelling on what happened in the first matchup between these teams just under a month ago. They're here. They know it all starts over, and they're ready to bring their best game and see what they can do against the Mustangs.
For those who don't know the matchup history between these two teams, Sheyenne leads the all-time series 3-2. They've taken the last 3. Minot took the first 2. This is the 4th time these teams have met in the postseason. Minot won 35-7 in the AAA semifinal, which was the former format, and 66-37 in the 2017 AAA quarterfinal. Sheyenne won 28-14 in Week 2 of 2019, 42-7 in the AAA quarterfinal 2 years ago in 2019, and 37-0 back in Week 6 of this season. You know, Sheyenne this year, they've rolled through almost everybody. They've scored 273 points. They've only given up 56. And this team, it's really honestly looking like probably the best Sheyenne football team in program history.
I think they seem to be the most complete team that Sheyenne and Coach Newton have been able to put on the field. Certainly we know there have been talented players with earlier versions of the program, but this team really doesn't seem to have any major weakness. At least on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. And I think what really has helped them is they've been able to make the teams they've played one-dimensional and have kind of dictated pace to them and made everyone play their game. And so, I'm sure that's been the mantra and the message all week from Coach Newton. More of the same, and let's go out and get after it tonight.
I guess for me, I agree with all of that, Wolf. I've been talking about this for the last few broadcasts, is that there's going to be, at some point, if you get the dent in the armor, is it because you have a lapse in focus or those kinds of things? I just don't see that happening tonight out of the Mustangs. This is playoff football. Last time, obviously, Minot came in and they got it handed to them pretty good. And I'm sure they're coming to bring the game that they want to bring tonight. But at the end of the day, this is a really senior-heavy Mustang squad that's just loaded with talent and going to be real tough on the Magicians.
Well, it shows in the stat book the Mustangs have 2,710 rushing yards. They're the top rushing offense in the EDC. They have 2,899 total yards. And it shows how dominant they use the running game. 460 rushing attempts compared to 88 passing attempts. But that's what the Mustangs really all need to do because their offensive line is so powerful and they got good backs. They just chew the clock up with the running game.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this. This is the three-headed monster. We're going to throw a graphic on the screen here showing you this three-headed monster that the Mustangs bring in the backfield. That's led by Josh Hendricks. He's obviously a touchdown monster. He does so much for the Mustangs. He's the guy that's going to carry the ball probably 25 times a game. But then you have the speed backs. Caden Rahr, kind of a combination speed power guy, and Race Wilson, he's just that jet back that's going to fly all over the place. That's a three-headed monster in the backfield. The one guy that we didn't mention is the quarterback, who's also near the top in rushing.
Yeah,
pretty amazing to see what the Mustangs bring and that rushing attack. It is monstrous.
And a new commit, we should also mention that Grant Morcantine is committed to MSUM to play for the Dragons and Coach Steve Lockway over there. When you have not only a great, powerful, big offensive line, but when you can roll out the skill players, when you win that matchup against defenses and those skill players almost across the board, that makes you a really difficult team to beat.
And this Minot team, they may have been 2-7, but they're not a light program to take. They got some star players as well, that have been pretty good regardless, even though Minot's 2-7. Blaze Ferry, he's got 101 carries, 303 yards, and a touchdown. Talon Junt, 34 carries and 164 yards. And then probably their best player this year is their quarterback, Jaden Spurraw. He's got 56 carries, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then throwing, he's 81 for 167, 965 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions.
And I guess to me, he was the guy that did flash a little bit for the Magicians the last time they were up here. He did show some things, but at the end of the day, Magicians weren't able to put some points on the board. And, I think it's worth mentioning here, Josh Karch and Jeremy Newton, Jeremy calls the plays, Coach Newton calls the plays for the offense. And I want to highlight first what the defense is doing with Josh Karch as the defensive coordinator. If you just take a look at some of the stats by Josh Karch and his defense there, I think one of the things that you'll notice is just the point differential, how many points they're giving up here. It's just incredibly low. We talked at
only
the beginning
6.2.
6.2 points a game. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. We felt like it was going to be a gauntlet season of opponents, and yet the Mustangs were able to hold them off. So pretty spectacular there. And then you look at the offense, Jackson.
30.3 points a game.
Yeah, let's take a look at what Newton's been able to pull off with his team in the last few years. Not only has he just been spectacular this year, but he holds a 37-5 record for his team over the last 3 years. Unbelievable.
And I think four of those 5 losses have come against Bismarck Century as well. The only other loss was in that 2019 season against the Shanley Deacons. We're going to come back here after the national anthem. It's going to be the number 1 seed, the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs, who are looking to make another run towards their 3rd straight Dakota Bowl, while the number 8 Minot Magicians are in their 23rd postseason in the last 25 years, and they're looking to get an upset here tonight in West Fargo. We'll be back. So we are back here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium, home of the Sheyenne Mustang football team. Just about to get underway here for the AA quarterfinal matchup. We do want to remind you guys of some of the other playoff matchups going on around the AA class. Number 4, Shanley, who's 5-4, is taking on number 5, Mandan, who's 4-5. The winner of this game will face the winner of that game. And on the bottom side of the bracket, you got number 2, Bismarck Century, looking to continue their dynasty. They're 8-1 on the year versus number 7, Bismarck High, who's 3-6. And then West Fargo High, the crosstown rival, is taking on Bismarck Legacy tonight over at West Fargo High. And, you know, look, and as you said, Aaron, about, you know, the Sheyenne history, they're 61-21 all time, 37-5. It really shows the dominance. They clinched their 4th straight conference title. So 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. So really, the Mustangs are really looking to continue their legacy and just notch off more off the checklist in the last 3 years. And they're really looking to make another run here in the postseason for their 3rd straight Dakota Bowl appearance.
You know, they did their job in the season. They got the home field advantage for these first 2 games if they are able to take care of business tonight against Minot. And, you know, I think obviously, as you said, Jackson, they have pretty ambitious goals for this season. They want to finish with the state title. So they're on their way to do that, but you got to win 3 in a row to make that happen.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, in looking at that playoff bracket with Shanley and Mandan playing tonight, that's the team, in all likelihood, they're going to get the winner of that game if Cheyenne's able to pull off tonight. And we saw that first home game of the year where Shanley took Cheyenne down to the wire, and that's why we keep emphasizing and saying that this is a brand new season. Everyone is 0-0, and you can't take anything in the playoffs for granted. You've got to be sharp in all phases of the game if you're going to be successful and make another trip to the Dakota Bowl.
You know, it looks like we're going to start by hearing the starting lineups for the defense. I think that's worth noting, obviously, that there's some pretty special players here on the defense. The guy that, for me, X Factor, that I want to watch early in the game is Theron Parson. The guy's been just unbelievable to start this kind of the last few games, but it's just been pretty incredible to watch how much he occupies the attention of the offensive line, the way he breaks through and makes sacks. You know, it's pretty spectacular. And, you know, the guy behind him, Matt Tribe, you know, the middle linebacker, you know, I've said this multiple times, he may very well be the best linebacker in the state of North Dakota. I did tell Matt the other day in the hallway, probably has to thank Theron a little bit for that because he occupies so much attention that he can run free and hit those guys in the hole. And you know, those 2 guys pretty tremendous. He's
got 66 tackles on the year, 34 solo, 32 assisted, 10 tackles for loss. And then my guy is Carter Menz. He's another one of those guys on, you know, at DN that can break off the snap pretty quick. He's got 54 tackles, 31 solo, 23 assisted, and 8 sacks on the year and 12 tackles for loss.
And I think, fellas, it bears mentioning that this has been a really good secondary on the defensive side of the ball for the Mustangs as well. Going into that Century game, we found out that there had only been 5 completions to wide receivers against the Mustangs all year. And obviously, Davies came out with a game plan last week to kind of spread the field and hit a lot of those wide receivers. And so, you know, the numbers have certainly gone up, but they're pretty stingy on the back end as well. And I suppose it's a chicken and egg kind of conversation. Are they stingy because of the pressure that guys like Theron Parson and Tribe get on the quarterback, or are they just really good as well? And I think they're just so balanced. It's really, you know, we've mentioned it a couple times. If there's any kind of Achilles heel, it might be that special teams factor. We know that Cheyenne's had some difficulty with extra points over the course of the season and everything. But if you keep dominating the line of scrimmage, controlling the clock, and making long touchdown drives, hopefully that shouldn't be a factor at all tonight.
Well, yeah, and as you said, you know, we held that Bismarck Century offense. The Mustangs held that Bismarck Century offense, who was averaging 320 yards of total offense coming into that game, to just 4 yards of total offense in the 3rd quarter, and we had 3 interceptions by the secondary. That was Tanner Hagel, Kellen Entz, and Nick Renner late in the game. Nick Renner actually has a pick 6 on the year. Then
you
got Brady
early in the year, I think, against West Fargo.
West Fargo. He returned it for 55 yards, and then Brady Duneheffer has 5 broken up passes this year. And we are about to get the playoffs underway here in West Fargo. Isaac Burbaum to kick off. 6 for 14 on PATs.
So obviously the Mustangs will start with that defense that we're talking about. See how that plays out for these guys this year. I think what's worth noting, beyond just the stats that you see individually, I think last week I was talking to Coach Oss about this today. He told me, I believe, the game's 48 minutes long, and I believe time of possession, the Mustangs against Davies last week had the ball over 35 minutes. I think he said 38 minutes. And they only ran 10 plays in the second half. So let's see if the Mustangs can play that complementary style football again tonight and control the ball.
And we're underway here. That's going to be stopped right around the 25 to start the game.
And I think, Aaron, that bears pointing out in the days of analytics now and those sorts of things, it's been decided there's a lot of stats that mean something and don't. But I think time of possession and ball control is still a huge one.
Yeah, you keep that momentum going. I think that's pretty spectacular for the defense because they come out fresh. For the other team, they can't build momentum. So let's see what Minot's got to start the game.
1st and 10 from the 25. Here we go. That's going to be handoff to Ferry to the left side. He's going to pick up 1 yard.
So with that, we're going to get the defensive starters here after the next play. We're just going to remind you that this game is brought to you by multiple sponsors tonight, so we're going to bring those to you throughout the game as well.
Kirkby, defensive end, Mapleton Elementary.
Connor Menz, DN, out of the Horace Elementary.
Dan Parson, defensive tackle, Rita Murphy Elementary.
Andy Cook, defensive line, Aurora Elementary School.
Nick Renner, linebacker, Horace Elementary.
Matt Shrive, linebacker, Eastwood Elementary.
Tanner Hagel, linebacker, the Horace Elementary.
Brady Duneheffer, cornerback, Aurora Elementary.
Noah Olson, cornerback, Horace Elementary.
Kellen Entz, safety, Freedom Elementary.
Tate Gustafson, safety, Independence Elementary.
So we are back here after meeting the defensive starters. Our sponsors that we would like to thank tonight is the Wilson family. Race Wilson's family. He's a sophomore slot back. His family helped us with our sponsors. We got Evolve Concrete, Mo Travel, Riley Rahr's mom's travel company. We got MJ Capelli, Second Nature Woodworks, Jay Greenwood Law, Dave's Tires, American Family Insurance logo, Outlet Recreation Marine Center, and Thrivent Financial.
Yeah, Thrivent Financial. Lex Lundy, our wrestling coach there. So thanks to all those guys. You'll see those sponsors in the bottom left-hand corner as we see Magicians go into the punt. We appreciate you guys being able to help us pull off this broadcast for you tonight.
So we're going to have a punt on the first series for Minot. It is not a very good punt.
Yeah, that kind of squeaks out.
Yeah, Cheyenne's going to let it just come to rest, but they'll have excellent starting field position with 10:23 to go in the first quarter.
Now we'll hear from the offensive starters for the Mustangs.
Mason Hart, left tackle, the South Elementary.
Sam Carpenter, left guard, and the Westside Elementary.
Oakley Eagleson, center, Aurora Elementary. Dawson Goldie, right guard, the Horace Elementary. Go Hornets.
Brennan Selheim, right tackle, Eastwood Elementary.
Logan Holsling, wide receiver, the Horace Elementary. Go Hornets.
Xander Newton, wide receiver, the Aurora Elementary. Caden Rahr, running back, Freedom Elementary.
Connor Entz, running back, the Freedom Elementary. Go Flyers. Joshua Henricks, fullback, the Horace Elementary. Go Hornets.
Graham Michael Workentine, the first quarterback, the Horace Elementary.
So Josh Hendricks on that first carry of the game there. It's going to be another play up the middle.
Caden Rahr on that one.
Rahr. His first carry of the night.
Not a big surprise that the first two plays for the Mustangs come out of the running backs out of the backfield. And definitely not a surprise the first one goes to Josh Hendricks. So This is exactly what we see all year, guys. Short third down, short fourth down. We're going to see the Mustangs kind of abuse the middle of that defensive front of the Magicians here and see if they can keep leaning and keep picking up yardage. Tight flex here.
3rd and 1 from the 47. That's going to go to Hendricks to the right. He's going to pick up the first down. Nice job there by Josh Hendricks. That's what he does best on 3rd and short. First down, and the Mustangs continue the drive. And we'll see how long, they keep the ball on this drive, because all year they've chewed up the clock in the quarters. They've taken up pretty much the entire quarter whenever they have the ball, really, especially against last week against Davies in the regular season finale. Wolf, you said you'd be surprised if Davies had over even 10 minutes of possession.
It was unreal last week, and I think in the games that we've done, it seems like the opponent gets a possession, and then Sheyenne usually chews up the clock and either eats up the rest of the quarter or nearly the rest of the quarter, and it ends with a touchdown. And the second quarter is the same. And that's just got to be really hard and frustrating for a defense or an offense to know that you're only going to get this one crack. And if we don't do something special, we're going to end up on the short end of the stick right away.
Caden Rahr picked up around 5 yards on that last play. 2nd and 5 from the 37. This one's going to go. Morganty's going to keep it to the right side. He gets around the DN. He's inside the 25 all the way down to the 15.
And, we haven't seen big gouge plays out of our offense lately. It's been a lot of ground and pound, 5 yards, 3 yards, cloud of dust kind of stuff. This does look a little bit different tonight. I think they're going to be able to find some edge. If Minot's struggling on the outside there, we're probably going to see some big yards runs here.
And I think it was probably smart as well for working team just to take the ball out of bounds on that one. Early in the playoffs here, you're not going for a crucial first down in the state championship game. You want to get through this game cleanly and pull off the game plan that Coach Newton has for you.
This one's going to be a handoff to Rahr on the right.
I think the only thing this may impact that time of possession if you start gouging with big plays because of those up the middle types of runs. That's what's enabled Sheyenne to dominate time of possession through most of this season. But if they're able to break off 6, 7, 8 yards like they have for the first drive here, who knows? The Minot might actually get a second possession in this quarter.
Caden Rahr averaging 7.6 yards per carry, 62.3 per game. 2nd and 5. This one's going to be to the left. That's going to be Race Wilson. He gets his first carry of the evening. Gets around up to the 5. Picks up 4.
And he's a guy that can pick up yardage in big chunks. If you
absolutely,
if you can't keep him contained on the interior, boy, he'll get down the sideline real fast.
5.9 yards per carry for Race Wilson.
And, guys, something we've mentioned a lot is the injuries that Sheyenne has had this year, and that they've always had kind of that next man up mentality and how well that's worked for them, which I think, again, speaks to the depth that this particular program has. As Race Wilson
pitches it to Wilson, and Race Wilson's going to get in for the touchdown on the opening drive for the Mustangs. Workty pitches it to Wilson, and Wilson gets his first score of his postseason career. He had a score last week against Davies.
And there was exactly what we were talking about, that little option run, and he got to the edge, and there was nobody catching him once he got there. Great play there by Race Wilson. Nice job for the sophomore getting his first postseason touchdown of the year for him. Oh,
2-point conversion to Hendricks. Up the middle is good. 8-0 Mustangs here with 6:37 to play in the first quarter.
So with that, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in about 30 seconds.
We are back here at Sheyenne Mustangs Stadium. The Mustangs just scored on their opening drive. They lead 8-0. Race Wilson ran it in after a pitch by Graham Wargentine for a 5-yard touchdown. And Josh Hendricks ran it up the middle to convert the 2-point conversion. So here comes the kickoff by Birnbaum. Magicians will have another opportunity here. Received around the 10.
Oh, nice
breaks
return.
Free. Nice return all the way up to the 35.
Got a little bit of a seam out there. Nice field possession to start this second drive here for the Magicians off the return.
30. That's going to be around over 30 yards on the return.
We'll see what Minot can pull off in the next drive here. See if their strategy has shifted a little bit. They did have some effective pass plays in that first matchup.
Ferry to the left side. Picks up a couple.
We did ask that question last time, Wolf. You know, not a lot of teams have been successful running up the gut on the Mustangs. At what point do you abandon that run and really start seeing if you can get chunk plays through the air? And you know, there really hasn't been a solution yet.
I don't think there is. High school football versus college or pro is such a different animal in terms of skill players and those sorts of things. And every team has a handful of pass plays that they really like and maybe a couple of special plays, but not very many high school teams are going to have the skill players where you can go to a completely pass-dependent offense or anything like that. Most high school teams have to rely on the pass or the run to set up the pass. And you can even do it vice versa, but the run still plays a crucial part, and Sheyenne has just done such a spectacular job this year of limiting opponents on the ground.
Blaze Ferry on another carry there, only picked up a couple, so it's going to be 3rd and about 4. Spur on the shotgun. He's going to keep it to the left side, cuts back to his right.
Going to be pretty close to the first down here, I think.
He'll advance. He'll get the first down, and the Magicians move the chains here. Right around midfield.
And that's exactly what Minot needed coming into this possession. They couldn't go back-to-back 3-and-outs here against the Mustangs on their own home turf. And so nice job picking up the first down here. They would have made for a tough decision on 4th at midfield. And as is, they get a new set of downs.
Single back formation here. Here's a motion. That's going to be handoff to Ferry to the left. Not a whole lot once again. The D-line, the Mustangs D-line there to make the stop.
You know, that last series there, you know, if you can get some decent yardage on first down, that does change the playbook here. But you pick up a half a yard on the first down, that does change what you want to do here in the next couple of plays. Let's see if Minot tries to open something up here. They did have some successful quarterback runs the last game, you know, out of that shotgun. So we'll see if they try to employ some of that. Well, we see him under center here.
Yeah. Well, Spur picked up the first down 2 plays ago. He's their leading rusher as a quarterback. That's going to be the Ferry up the middle.
Yeah, and that's a position we've seen so many of Sheyenne opponents in this year, 3rd and medium to long. And that's really dangerous because the Sheyenne line, D-line, will pin their ears back and get after the quarterback if they're going to try and pass. And they do such a good job of staying in their lanes and run control on defense. So Cheyenne's going to go, Minot's going to go out of the shotgun here. We'll see how they plan to attack this.
3rd and 6 from the 48. Spurrow's going to keep it once again on 3rd down. Goes up the middle. He's going to be short. Tackled right around the 45. 4th down.
Does pick up a couple, but now it's about a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2.5.
It's 4th down.
Oh, 4th down, I mean, yep.
4th and 3. Spurrow with a 3-yard gain.
So that's going to be a little tricky here. This is, you know, they haven't really picked up big yards. I guess, if anything, it's, again, on that quarterback dive, but this one's a little bit dangerous, a little dicey to try that one on a 4th and 3.
It is. You could try to pin Sheyenne deep, but how many times are you going to get across midfield?
Not very often.
And you'll see the play clock down to 3 here. I assume they're going to take a timeout and talk about it, see what they want to come up with. So with that, we're going to take a quick timeout as well.
here inside Sheyenne Mustangs Stadium. The Magicians trying to pick up the first down here as 4th and 3 is coming up. So this is a pretty risky call here, but they're at the Mustangs 45. We'll see if they can continue the drive while the Mustangs trying to make a 4th down stand. That's going to be to Ferry on the right side, and he's stuffed at the D-line, at the line of scrimmage. The D-line's there once again. Theron Parson makes the stop.
Yeah, he
and that's
blew
going to
that
be a
one
turnover
up real
on downs.
fast, real fast. You know, Theron, that's what he does. That play was blown up before that guy ever even got into the line of scrimmage. So pretty spectacular what he's pulling off there at that line of scrimmage. Fast for a D tackle.
Well, and we talked about last week that Davies did a lot of double teaming against Parson just to try and control him. And you would think Minot would have taken a little bit of look at that film footage saying, you know, maybe that's something we want to employ. You're not going to get away with going one-on-one with Parson.
So the
Morgan team drops back. He looks for Race Wilson, but that's incomplete. Thrown behind his shoulder there. First pass of the night. And usually when the Mustangs do pass it, they don't go very deep. They've had a couple deep looks. They had a pretty deep connection to Race Wilson last week against Davis, but really it's usually those screen plays to either Hendricks or just dump it off to your slot in the backfield.
Yeah, that was actually set up pretty well. The offensive lineman from the left side there, number 75 for the Mustangs, he did get out there, and he did find a way to –
Mason Hart?
Yeah, he was ready to block downfield, but unfortunately the play didn't evolve the way they wanted to on the connection.
This one's going to be to Hendricks up the middle. Gets up to around the 49. Right around midfield. So 3rd and 5 coming up.
So this is a situation Sheyenne hasn't found themselves in a lot in the last few games, that 3rd and medium or 3rd and long. We'll see how Newton wants to try and attack this. Maybe one of those edge plays where Working Team has the option of keeping it or pitching, and maybe getting to the wide side of the field might be an option right here.
Wilson motions. Hand off to Wilson. He goes around the outside on the left side. He's going to pick up the first down. Race Wilson. Nice carry. Picks up the first down on 3rd and 5. The drive continues.
Good chunk yardage there on 3rd down. I think the Magicians probably watched some film, and when Race Wilson went into motion, they didn't bite.
No.
But they weren't ready for it when the ball actually got snapped, and Race was able to take advantage.
Good jet sweep there by Sheyenne, and just taking advantage of Race Wilson's just flat-out speed.
Morgan fakes, play action. He connects with Logan Holsing at the 25. That's going to be a 18-yard reception by Logan Holsing off of the play action.
Good job selling it there by Grant Warkentine. That's a 3-year starter, making that little fake. I think everybody kind of had their head down thinking that there was turning into a run. Holsing gets up the seam. Great pass by Warkentine, connection.
1st and 10 from the 24, so that's going to be actually a 19-yard gain on that last play. Mustangs move the chains once again. This one's going to go to Rar. He cuts around on the right side. Breaks a tackle or two. He's all the way down inside the 10. Nice carry there from Caden Rar.
That was really impressive the way Rar let that develop. He waited for his blockers. He showed great patience. Lots of times running backs get into that second level and they just want to try and turn it on and make something happen. But Rar stayed with those blocks and really read what was going on in front of him, and I think probably got a good 7 or 8 yards of additional yardage on that run that probably wouldn't have existed had he just gone for it.
Picks up a total of 15, so it's going to be 1st and goal from the 9.
We do want to thank Caden Rar's dad. He is one of the game sponsors tonight. Evolve
Josh.
Concrete.
Josh Hendricks.
Oh, my goodness.
Just trucks over a bunch of defenders, tries to fight his way into the end zone. Just short.
It's almost comical watching him sometimes, how many guys it takes to bring him down.
6 foot, 220 pounds. Josh Hendricks is his third in rushing in the EDC this year, behind Aiden Devine from Shanley and Parker Nelson from West Fargo High. And he's 2nd in touchdowns with 18 on the year. 2nd and goal from the 1. Handoff to the right side. Touchdown, Mustangs.
And
Two-possession lead.
I don't even know if he got touched going into that one, Coach.
I don't know either. And You know, I don't know that any of us would have picked this for the start of this game. The fact that Sheyenne might be up by this amount, yeah, maybe, but that Minot's had 2 possessions already, and that Cheyenne's kind of opened up the playbook a little bit, and they're really gouging Minot for a lot of yards on most of these plays.
Isaac Burbon's kick is good. His 7th made PAT of the year, 15-0. That last touchdown was punched in by Josh Hendricks, his 19th of the year. And the Mustangs have a 2-possession lead here as the first quarter is going to come to an end after this kickoff with 3 seconds to play here.
Hey, Mustang fans, we want to give a shout-out to one of tonight's sponsors. That's Bell Bank Mortgage. Remember, Bell Bank Mortgage is proud to support West Fargo Sheyenne sports. Whether you're in the classroom, at home, or both, we hope you're inspired this year to push yourself beyond what you even imagined and never stop learning. Go Mustangs, Bell Bank Mortgage, equal housing lender.
Again, we would really appreciate everybody recognizing all the sponsors for this game. North Dakota High School Activities Association does require a fee for broadcasting their playoff games, so Mustang Media was really humbled and thankful that all these companies on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen participated in helping us make that happen for you guys. So wherever you are across the United States, I hope you appreciate all those sponsors on the bottom left.
So here comes the kickoff from Birnbaum. And the Magicians will get the ball here. That's received right around the 23.
Again, pretty good field position.
Jaden Spurraw, the quarterback, received the kickoff there. Gets all the way up to the 38.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in just a second.
Thing I like about manufacturing is you kind of see the entire process in front of you. It's not just someone telling you this is the theory, that's how it's applied. You kind of get to see why it's applied that way, how to test it, how to make it work out of a small concept or idea.
I like working in manufacturing because you get to really see your design come to life into like actual material, and you can hold it and you can look at it and you can open it. On the engineering side, I'm a little less on the actual physical building of the products, but I get to look at the design. I get to think about how things are going to come together, think about the different constraints that we have in terms of like materials and equipment, and getting to mix all of that together to get a finished product, I think is a really satisfying.
Jaden Spurraw on the carry there.
Oh, incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. Jaden Spurraw. Incomplete pass. A little late coming back from the commercial break there.
Fairly tight window that Spurraw had to fit that into. Looked like there was an opportunity for the tight end there. I think it was Conklin there, but unable to connect on that one. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for Minot.
Spurraw's pass incomplete, so here's another play. It's a handoff to Ferry.
Nice tackle there.
Up to the 40.
I think that was Tate Gustafson on the stick.
Tate Gustafson, he's also one of the leading returners. He's got 4 punt returns for 124 yards and then 6 kickoff returns. Or excuse me, actually he's got 4 kickoff returns for 124 yards and then 6 punt returns for 65 yards.
I was going to say, the odds are if you're a return man for the Mustangs, you're going to have far more punt returns than you will kickoff returns as the year's gone on.
3rd and long here.
3rd and long. Here comes a motion. Spurraw's going to drop back, roll to his right a little bit. He's got some pressure. Pass is thrown away, almost intercepted. The pressure brought on by Theron Parson.
And there he is, kind of disrupting plays again, and that's the danger of 2 of the 3 plays here where pass plays
an interception.
And didn't connect, and now it's going to be Mustangs' ball. I think they only occupied the ball for just under a minute.
Yeah, it was 3 seconds left in the quarter on the kickoff, so 53-second drive is all for Minot on that one.
Not a good snap there, but decent punt. It's going to be a fair catch right around the 35.
Good job possessing that
Gustafson.
Punt there by Gustafson.
Great decision maker there at punt return.
So Mustangs up 15-0 here with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Obviously, you know, this Mustangs have the lead they want coming out of that first quarter. We'll see, obviously, how long these starters stay in. If the game gets out of hand, you got to probably think a little bit about keeping your guys healthy and safe.
Right.
But at the same time,
Especially
you want to keep a rhythm. And so
the
that's probably
postseason.
one of those things that the coaches talked about before the game.
Well, and we'll see with this one. This is probably a pretty critical defensive drive here, or defensive stand that Minot's going to have to make if they're going to have a chance to stay in this game. If Cheyenne's able to march down the field like they have the first two drives, that's going to be a pretty tall task if it's not already.
Great play there by the Magicians.
Stuffed Workatine at the line of scrimmage.
Contain on the left side there on the defensive end, and Workentine had no way to make that option happen. So smart play there by Workentine. He said, I'm just going to go down, live to play another day.
So 2nd and 10 from the 35.
Tight flex formation here for the Mustangs.
That's going to be to Wilson on to the right, or to the left side.
Good chunk gain there, a little over 5 yards, I think, for Race Wilson on the edge.
He's had a few carries now on the evening. He had a touchdown on the first drive.
And, you know, it is kind of nice to see Caden Rahr and Race Wilson kind of getting back to full speed. Both of them kind of were dinged up in the middle part of the season. Race Wilson with a groin injury and Caden Rahr with a shoulder injury. So it's nice to see those guys back in the backfield. Had a lot of injuries this season. Lost 2 more running backs, James Hagan and Ty Schlichting. Both went down early in the year, too, with collarbone issues.
Here comes a snap. It's going to be to Wilson. To the left side once again. Picks up a couple.
And I think he's going to be about a yard short.
Just a yard, so 4th down coming up.
Not bad trying to get on the outside on the short side of the field there. Wilson's still able to turn the corner and make positive yards out of that. And again, now this is a 4th down that's manageable. We know you got big number 32 sitting in the backfield. That could be the guy to get you that first down if you need it.
4th and 1 from the 44. Yeah, I believe they're going to go to Hendricks on this play. We'll see. And they do to the left. Hendricks is going to pick up the first down. He breaks free all the way down to the 37. Nice gain there from Josh Hendricks.
And, you know, the sad thing is the Magicians actually sold out on the dive, and Hendricks there caught a little bit of the left. I think he maybe even got outside the tackle on that one, or between the guard and the tackle, and no one was home. He took up a big play there.
Well, and the Minot defender looked like he was maybe trying to rip that ball out and probably ended up giving Hendricks another 6 or 8 yards on that run. I don't think you can worry about those types of things. I think you just need to get that guy on the ground as quickly as you can.
1st and 10 from the 37. That's Borgati's going to fake the handoff, go to his right, but he's just gets rid of it. Pass is caught by Logan Holsing. His 2nd reception in the game. That's received right around the 30. Nice gain there. That's going to be a first down. Or no, excuse me. It's going to be a 2nd and 3 coming up. 7-yard gain.
Pretty spectacular play there by Grant Workentine. Throwing the ball while he's actually going down, but Holsing able to catch that one. And
looked like he was going to get sacked there.
Well, and as you pointed out, Aaron, over the course of the season, you know, he doesn't throw a lot, but he throws a really good ball, and that gives you an idea of some of his just overall body strength, but still that arm strength and accuracy going down like that.
This is Terrar to the right. He trucks over a defender, tackled right around the 18 for a 12-yard gain. First down, Mustangs.
You know, you talked a little bit about Caden Rahr's patience on the last one. I know Caden Rahr's a big Steelers fan. He kind of looks a little bit like that Le'Veon Bell style coming around the edge there. You know, I know Le'Veon's gone to a couple different teams now, but to me he's always a Steeler, and watching him and the patience in the hole, I'm sure Caden watched a few of his games. That's kind of what he's doing there, hesitating just slightly to wait for that block to happen, and then boom.
1st and 10 from the 18. Mustangs inside the red zone once again. Workentine pitches it to Rahr on the left. He cuts back up to his right. inside the 15, tackled right around the 13-yard line.
Good pick up there again on first down. So the Mustangs moving the ball yet again here. 6:51 to go in the second quarter now.
Isaiah Walter on the stop there for the Magicians. Second and 5 from the 13.
We have another tight flex formation.
This one's to Workteam's going to keep it, actually. Fake the handoff to Hendricks. Not much. Picks up a couple at most.
Yeah, it looked like Workentine kind of stumbled as he was trying to plant
Lost
his foot.
His footing, yep. He's had a few carries on the evening as well.
Just to stay upright with that and still make it back to the line of scrimmage.
And that's what we've seen, though, Coach. Once they get inside the 20, they like that little option play. Workentine likes to tuck it up, and he's that extra runner in the red zone, and tough to stop. Fortunate for Magicians that time that he kind of just lost his footing.
Third and short from the 13. It's going to be 2 yards needed to pick up the first down. It's going to be a flag here on the play. False start on the Mustangs. It's going to be 5 yards back now. 3rd and 7 coming up.
And those ones that, I know obviously the Mustangs are up 15-0, but you have 3rd and 2, wide open playbook, and
kind of shot yourself in the foot there.
A little bit. This is that yardage that we've talked about before. No one's really built for the 3rd and long situation, and that changes your playbook. Certainly does for the Mustangs. Probably now into a passing situation with the defense kind of expecting passing situation. So we'll see. Minot kind of slow getting into it.
Workentine alone. He's going to fake the pass, tucks it in, goes to his left, spins back to his right. Is he going to get the first down?
I think he's just a little bit short.
Just short. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Boy, if Workentine would have quick snapped that right away, I think he probably, if he would have been noticing the left flanker out there was wide open. Magicians were real slow to get into their defensive set, and nobody was out there, but Workentine didn't see him. He does tuck it up quick and picks up a big chunk, and now it's into that 4th and 1. Let's hand it to the horse kind of guy.
It's going to be 4th and short from the 10.
Tight flex formation again, not surprising.
It's usually what the Mustangs go to. Hand off to Hendricks on the right side.
Down inside the 1.
To Josh Hendricks inside the 1. So it's going to be first down here. First and goal from around the half-yard line in the 1.
So we mentioned early in this drive, how important this would be for Minot to get a stop here, and it looks
Doesn't look good.
It does not with only 4 minutes and change left.
And off to Caden Roar.
Hey.
He's going to be in for the score, his first of the inning, 4th of the year, and the Mustangs have a 3-possession lead. Caden Roar punches it in from 1 yard.
Nice run there by Caden Roar. He picked up some big yards during the drive. Nice to have him back, get his feet underneath him. I know he was kind of trying to figure out, kind of get his rhythm after that shoulder injury. It's good to have him back. Good to have Race Wilson running at full speed again. And I do hear rumor on the street, James Hagan's starting to feel a little bit better, healing up a little faster than he thought. Pretty interesting.
Looks like there's going to be a Magician player down. So, we're going to come back here after this short injury timeout here. Mustangs lead 21-0 with 4:14 to play here in the second quarter. So we are back here during this injury timeout. We just got a score update. Shanley currently leads as they're hosting Mandan in the other semifinal game, in one of the 4 quarterfinal games, 28-20. Winner of that game will play the winner of this game between the Mustangs and the Magicians.
Good to see the Minot Magician get up there. That's number 69 for Minot. Not sure we don't have his number on the field, but glad that he's okay.
We have 2 number 68s on our roster sheet up here in the booth.
Must be one of them. Apologies to all those Minot fans out there. For some reason, we just didn't have the right roster sheet.
So Birnbaum's going to line up for the PAT here, his second PAT attempt of the evening. He made the first one. Trying to make it 22-0 here. Connor Entz to hold. Snap is good. Right-footed kick is up, and it is good by Birnbaum. 2 for 2 on PATs this evening. 22-0.
That one was well struck there by Birnbaum. Good to see him kind of catching fire here in the second half of the season. PATs, and we talked about it before, Coach. Nice to have kind of that finishing point. Make sure that when you get in a tight game, those extra points probably matter.
Absolutely. The scores can get really wonky if you start missing some of those PATs. And for Birnbaum, I think that's got to be a really good confidence booster. 2 for 2 tonight, and kicking the ball better than he has than he did in the earlier part of the season.
Mustangs lead 22-0 here with 4:14 to go here in the first half. They're 3 for 3 on their drives this evening. Magicians have picked up a couple first downs, but they really haven't been able to get inside the red zone yet. And the Mustangs have been able to make a couple fourth down stands, where they actually forced Minot to punt twice and made a fourth down stand on Minot's second possession. Ty Kinchin, number 15, one of the top returners for the Magicians. Nice kick there from Birnbaum. Received right around the 20. Cuts back up to the right. That's going to be Tyson Ruzicka, number 14. He's tackled right around the 34.
Well, I want to ask you guys, do we have a solution? Does Minot have a solution? We're talking a little bit about this in the pregame, but Josh Karch, defensive coordinator. How many? We got 5 shutouts already on the season.
5 shutouts out of our 9 games.
And here we are pitching a shutout here in the first half of this guy. Is there a solution that you've seen? Is there something that Minot can expose here?
I don't think with the personnel that they have that's a likely scenario as we see Cheyenne stuff Minot here on this first run opportunity on this possession. What do you do if you're a team that just can't match up physically on that front line against Cheyenne? It's just so tough to make any kind of headway with that. We have a face mask on Cheyenne, so I guess that's one way that you can make things happen.
Second penalty of the evening for the Mustangs
is to get first downs via penalty, but that's probably not going to be a reliable method of doing so. Although this is going to take it to midfield for Minot, so they're going to have a chance to enter Mustang territory, and this is an important possession because we know Cheyenne's going to get the ball to start the second half.
Absolutely, and they already have a 3-score lead, 22-0 here. Inside 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Kitchen motions. It's going to be a handoff to Ferry, and that's going to be stuffed in the backfield for a 1-yard loss. Or actually, excuse me, that's number 23, Talon Junn on the carry. 5'9" sophomore.
Parson and Sutherland teaming up to produce a 2-yard loss for Minot on that play, bringing up 2nd and 12 for the Magicians.
We haven't seen anything on the edge here from men's, but on that last play, boy, he was in the backfield so fast. I'm sure people on tape, I know he's getting a lot of attention from colleges. Man, watching him explode off the edge is impressive.
Spurrow's going to keep it. He cuts back to the right up the middle.
Speaking of the aforementioned men's, he came all the way around the edge there to make a tackle in the interior. That's how fast he got around the right tackle of Minot. He sneaks all the way around into the center of the formation and actually chases down the running back. So,
you know, and you might tend to think that, well, there, as you asked Aaron, is there a weakness to exploit? And the fact that he's looking to get upfield so quickly, and maybe that's something he could do, but he's so quick and athletic and reads that so well that teams that have tried to do that and take advantage of his aggressiveness still haven't been able to produce any real results with running the ball to his side.
3rd and long from the 47. Spurrow drops back. He gets some pressure, rolls to his right. He's going to keep it. He's going to try to go for the first down, and he's going to get it. Nice run there from Jaden Spurrow. Gets up to the 40 for the first down.
And that's what we saw last time from Minot. That was kind of the one thing, that quarterback run game, especially just breaking it out of the pocket. That time he was able to sneak around the defensive end and picks up a big chunk.
Spurrow's their leading carrier. Coming into this one, he had 56 carries on the year. That's well over 60 now.
And I guess if that's one thing that any team can do, if you can get off script and still actually produce yards.
Spurrow's going to fire. Pass is caught right around the 35. It is caught by number 84, Tyler Johnson. His first reception of the evening. 6'2", 200 pounds. He's their tight end. He's a senior.
Really solid open field tackle by Noah Olson there, because Minot had some blockers out there with him, and Olson just kind of knifed up between them and was able to take the receiver down. Otherwise, that could have been even a bigger play for Minot, as there's 1:45 left in the first half, and Minot's going to take their second timeout.
So we're going to come back and take a short break. Mustangs lead 22-0. So we are back here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium with 1:44 to go here in the first half. Mustangs lead by 3 scores, 22-0. Jaden Spurrow picked up the first, he picked up the first down a couple plays ago.
And then the pass play there, that was a pretty well-designed pass play too.
Pass was caught by Tyler Johnson. Noah Olson made the tackle in the open field. Olson had an interception against Davies last week. He picked off one of Claypool's deep passes that was intended for Raymond Brown. Spurrow's going to keep it up the middle. Stopped right around the 31.
Hey, nice drive here for Minot at the end of the half to answer. 1.5 minutes to go, and they're now creeping into almost the red zone, and they're sitting at a 3rd and 1.
A score will be huge here. We'll see if that flips the tide any, but we'll see here because Minot still is 31 yards out.
Sitting at just over a minute to play.
There's got to be a little more sense of urgency here, I think. If you're Minot, you're going to want to have as many shots to run plays before the end of the half as possible, unless you've got something special drawn up.
Hand off to Junt.
It does get the first down, and now we're going to sit at about 1:01.
They'll stop the clock for a little bit, but you've got to get ready with only 1 timeout left. You've got to be ready to go with the ball sitting at the Mustang 27.
And this is probably something, you're saying, bend but don't break. 54 seconds to go. Probably nothing over the top here. Field does shrink up a little bit.
Mustangs have had a lot of red zone stands, though. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 27. Spurrow's going to fake the handoff. Get some pressure. Fires deep. Passes broken up by Brady Dudenheffer.
That was thrown into a mess of people.
A lot of people there, and it must have been a cross-up in the play call or something. You probably shouldn't have 2 magicians there, but, boy, they it did look like they had an opportunity in the
Yeah,
end
that
zone.
looked
They would have
pretty
got up
close.
and grabbed that one out of the air.
And the way it went down from our angle, you couldn't tell, was it a Magician? Was it a Mustang? Or,
Yeah,
or
there's
did
like
the
three
ball even just hit the ground?
There's like 3 Mustang defenders there and 2 Magician receivers.
And I think we're going to get a hold on that one anyway. So that's
not going to be good. Minot kind of shoots themselves in the foot there. 2nd and 10 from the, or excuse me, 2nd and 24 from the 41.
With the pressure on Sparrow, you got to figure someone maybe had a handful of jersey to prevent that from happening.
Spurrow fires it over to his left.
That's inbounds.
Number 14,
And
Tyson
that's gonna keep the
Ruzicka.
clock ticking, and that forces Minot to take their last time out here. 21 seconds to go in the second quarter. Magicians driving. We're going to take a break.
We are back here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. Mustangs lead 22-0. Minot making a little drive here going. They got 21 seconds, though, to come, and they got 29 yards to go here in just a little under 25 seconds here.
I think if I'm Minot, I want to get Sparrow out, rolling out, maybe drag something across underneath, but give him that option to go long. And
Pressure
there
coming
it
from
is.
Menz on the left side. Sparrows goes to his right. He's going to keep it. Nothing to do there for him. He's going to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
So now only 13 seconds remain in this first half. That's twice now that he's able to kind of escape off the right side and pick up some yardage, but it is going to be 4th down here, probably irrelevant on the down and distance. 13 seconds to go. They're going to have to pick up a big chunk here, probably only 2 plays left to score here anyway, so if they pick up the first down, maybe they can clock it. But it's going to be a bang-bang finish here.
13 seconds, 4th and 9 from the 26. Last chance here for the Magicians. Spurrow, a lot of pressure there. Gets rid of it. Pass is incomplete.
And that was the aforementioned Carter Menz, who absolutely blew it up. And
Sparrow was slow getting up from that one, and
he was hit pretty hard.
Wow, that was
again
Menz
the speed off the edge.
Brought the wood on that one.
Oof. So with 6 seconds to go, we do want to remind you of our game sponsors tonight. Race Wilson's family, Lex Lundy from Thrivent Financial, Evolve Concrete, that's Caden Rar's family, Mode Travel, Caden Rar's family, MJ Capelli, we have Second Nature Woodworks, also Caden Rar's family, Jay Greenwood, Dave's Tires, we have DJ Coulter from American Family Insurance and Outlet Recreation Marine Center. All of these individuals, we really appreciate your support here at Mustang Media and getting this broadcast available to you. So with that, gentlemen, that wraps up the first half. Big takeaways.
I think the Mustangs did what they do best and what they do on the usual. They controlled the clock. They got a few scores there by Wilson, Hendricks, and the defense there just forcing Minot, a couple 3-and-outs early in the game, and then Spurrow's kind of been doing most of the work for the Magicians. And Minot's gone down the field a couple times, but they haven't been able to capitalize yet.
Yeah, I think if you're Minot, you kind of look at this as a really wasted opportunity. This was your best opportunity so far tonight. You know that Cheyenne's going to get the ball to start the second half, and boy, you're going to have to pull out all the stops in the second half if you're going to have a chance.
Yeah, it's do or die, obviously, for the Magicians here, 22-0. So with that, we're going to take a halftime break, and we'll come back here, kind of recap the first half, and talk a little bit about what we expect from the second half.
Working in manufacturing is that you get to work with a lot of different people with different skill sets, everywhere from engineering to people who are just good with their hands. So for myself, I never really envisioned that I'd be working in manufacturing, but I gave it a try, and HR has definitely become my passion.
I like working in manufacturing because it's something different every day, fast-paced environment. Every day is, new challenge, and it keeps it very exciting.
So I like to work in the manufacturing setting, using my engineering degree to really be able to support the products that we make. Depending on the project, I'm able to turn an idea on the computer into a real product out on the manufacturing floor.
So welcome back, Mustang fans. I have a special guest in the booth tonight, Sheyenne principal extraordinaire, Ryan Salisbury. It's your first year as our principal here at Sheyenne, but you are no stranger to Sheyenne and Mustangs and football and all the sports. How are you enjoying your first year as head principal?
So far, so good. It's actually gone by really, really fast. Almost like you blink and we're already here at the end of first quarter. So I think kids are starting to settle in, and things are looking better and better by the day.
Yeah, it's been obviously such an odd transition with all of the COVID stuff and getting kids adjusted. It's got to feel really good to come out and see the activities and see kind of kids in their own element, socializing, enjoying their lives, trying to get life back to normal.
It certainly does. It does feel normal. It's really nice to be back out here and see kids competing. And it's really nice to just be in school and have things feel kind of like normal again.
You know, you and I have talked multiple times about this, but there's something special about the culture at Sheyenne High School. You know, you've been here since the beginning as a teacher. Yep. Then, you know, you worked for, of course, Greg Gruters, and he had as a lasting impact on this school and the culture here. And you know, now you've worked as an assistant principal. You even had a little stint in there as an MTSS coach. You've done a little bit of everything. And so what is it that you think that makes the culture here kind of unique?
Well, I think there's a tremendous amount of community support. We've got a lot of kids involved in a lot of different things. And most nights they're out supporting each other to the best of their ability. And so it's really nice to see that our kids are just out doing good things. And it's fun to interact with them when we're out here in the evenings at activities.
You know, it is worth mentioning, right on the other side of the Essentia scoreboard, you do see the sign for Gruder's Way. He does, I know, he had a big impact on you as a leader of this school. What can you say about Greg Gruders and what he built that we're still seeing today? Unfortunately, obviously, we lost him to cancer a few years ago, and that's heavy on our hearts still.
It is.
But what is the Gruder's Way, and why are you still seeing it?
That's really, really simple. Like you said, he had a major impact on me as a person and in terms of my career. And I think the simplest way to say it is you just treat people like you want to be treated. You treat everyone like a human being. Treat your staff like professionals. And, it's not just about work. It's not just about being here for activities. It's really about just interacting with people the way you do, whether you're at work, in the community, at home, whatever the case may be. Just kind of being the same guy, no matter where you're at.
Yeah, love that. So before I let you get out of here, I got to ask you, it's 4 minutes left to go in this halftime here. Mustangs up big. Obviously you probably have a prediction for this game, but we got to know, what's your long-term projection here? How's this team going to play out over the playoffs?
I think this is the year. I'm confident. These guys are confident. You can see the way they play on both sides of the ball. They are big up front, and they're nasty. That hit by Menz towards the end of the half there, I don't know if that guy's going to want to throw the ball again in the second half.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. They just control the line, and they control their destiny by just pounding it down their opponent's throats.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and we're all looking forward to it, and we're hoping to see the Mustangs, if they can pull it off. I'm with you in full agreement. So thanks again for coming up here. That's Principal Salisbury. Appreciate his time, and with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some first half recap.
Welcome back here to Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. 2 minutes to go here in the intermission. We do want to remind you guys some of the updates for the single A playoff bracket. For those who don't know, Bismarck St. Mary's, the number 1 seeds, taking on number 8 Devils Lake. Number 4 Fargo South is taking on number 5 Dickinson. Number 2 Jamestown's taking on number 7 Grand Forks Red River. And number 3 Fargo North is taking on number 6 Wahpeton. So the Mustangs have a 22-0 lead here, and they controlled the clock in the first half with their running game. They actually made a couple big passing plays as well to Logan Holsing. And their defense has been phenomenal, forcing Spurrow to run to his right and kind of run for his life there. And he's gotten hit a couple times there in the backfield, and the runs up the middle haven't been working for the Magicians as they're held to 0 on the scoreboard once again.
Jackson, I think if you were to say, hey, what's the ideal script for the first half, who's going to get involved, and how are we going to do this, I think this is exactly how Coach Newton would draw it up. Grounded pound, get some scoring with our tight flex formation and get all those backs. We talked about the 3-headed monster, and Coach Jeremy Newton gets his guys moving, and it's just impressive to watch how he keeps them on script, and here they are doing what they've always done.
And I think, for me, the standout tonight or the star of the game has just been that Mustang defense. They have been so stingy. I think maybe Minot has one first down and then one via penalty by the Mustangs. But Theron Parson has come up huge again. We saw what Menz did, and I guess we'll find out if Sparrow is still okay to be quarterback in the second half for Minot. And that doesn't diminish what Sheyenne has done offensively. It's just that we've seen those things from Sheyenne so consistently on the offensive side that you kind of just start taking some of those things for granted after a while, because they've just so balanced, and we've talked about their weapons and all of those things. But for me, wow, this defense has been really spectacular tonight.
We want to remind you guys our social media links. Our YouTube is Mustang Media. Subscribe to that so you can get notifications for our live streams of sporting events and other general events going on around the school.
Yeah, Jackson, we did talk about this. We have a huge chunk of people out there that watch our channel that have not subscribed.
Yeah,
we sure would appreciate if you guys get to that subscribe button.
Most of them have been students from our own school, so students at Sheyenne, please go subscribe to that. If you want to get updates, our Instagram is Mustang.post. That's run by Riley Rahr. He's our social media guy. And our Twitter is Mustang Post with a capital M and P if you're curious about how to type in the username. And then our Facebook for all the parents out there is
the meta.
Yeah. When I talk to the media team, they're always calling me the old head.
Yeah.
So I guess that's for the old heads.
That one, our Facebook is called Sheyenne Mustang Media. That's all. Riley Rahr also posts a lot of updates on there as well.
Yeah, appreciate Riley Rahr for all that work that he's putting in to communicate with you guys and keep everybody up to date throughout the entire country. We get feedback from all over, grandparents and family members. We appreciate you guys supporting us.
He's grown our Instagram account pretty big. Before this year began, we were at less than 100 followers on Instagram. Now he's been able to get that up to around over 900 and almost 1,000 here.
And guys, it still always amazes me for something that started as an opportunity during COVID as a way to get Sheyenne activities out to the public when there were limits on number of fans and those sorts of things at competitions. It still amazes me the numbers of people that tune into these broadcasts, whether it be live or whether it be a rebroadcast or streaming it on their own time and those sorts of things. And that's, I think, really a credit to you, Aaron, with what you do in heading Mustang Media and all the kids that work there with Jacob Fisher and Jackson and all those guys. All the students do such a fantastic job. So
special shout out to our graphics team. This isn't just a couple of people behind a camera here. We got Quinn Breidenbach with he's given us some of those fun graphics. Aiden Knodl's given us some of those fun graphics for tonight. Matthew Steele's given us some graphics. We got two really great photographers and videographers too. Mackenzie Tumlinson and I think Emma's out here tonight taking some pictures as well and helping us out. So for all of the Mustang team, we really appreciate all of your support and I hope you realize how much fun these guys are having, learning all this experience. I mean, Jackson, the number of compliments I get for you coming in here as a sophomore, you make us look good, I think. Well, better than, I guess. Well, we probably never look good.
No, I think that's a stretch, but as good as we are able to look.
Yes.
I think the other thing then we want to recognize also that special list of sponsors that's scrolling on the bottom left of your screen tonight, and also our regular sponsors. Bell Bank Mortgage is proud to support the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. Rates are great, so if you're considering moving up or maybe even becoming a homeowner for the first time, talk to the experts at Bell. We'll help you make home happen.
All right,
Bell
boys.
Bank Mortgage, equal housing lender.
Second half is about to begin.
Second half here. Here's the kickoff from Barsh. Oh, it's going to be a little trickery here, a little onside attempt there.
Well, and
he did get the 10 yards. I think we're going to have to pull apart the pile and see what happens.
I was not expecting that.
And they're going to say the Mustangs came out with it somehow. Boy, good little play there out of the Magicians. You got to pull out of the stops.
That's what we said going into halftime. That was a wasted opportunity for them at the end of the first half to get on the board. So you're going to have to pull out the stops and really kind of let it all hang out here, and hopefully it works out for you, and give it your best effort. but you certainly don't want to give Sheyenne a starting field position of their own 48 or 49.
Well, absolutely.
Well, you know, and it did look like they almost had the Mustangs running the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the one guy in the interior was able to come up with it, and here the Mustangs are.
Workentine's going to keep it to his right. Thought about pitching it, but he's not going to, and he's going to be tackled there right around the line of scrimmage.
I think that was a smart play by Grant there. He could have gone for the pitch, but that might have ended up in a loss of yardage.
I think, guys, I don't think that was Grant Workentine. I think we have our backup quarterback in right now.
Oh, it's Caleb Deere.
I think Caleb Deere is in for the second half. Not too surprised given the score there, and hey,
but I think that's
warm up, Caleb. You're about ready to run the ball.
But that's a heady play to be smart and hold on to it, and it looked a lot like the Minot defenders are really going to start ripping at the ball and looking to punch it out and those things. So whoever's in, whether it's the regulars or the backups, you're going to have to really take care of that ball. Ball security is going to be a major factor, I think, for the second half with Sheyenne when they have the ball.
That's going to be that last play was to Race Wilson. He picked up right around 5.
And don't be confused. Grant Workentine is okay. That's not injury related. This is probably just protecting him. He is down on the sideline talking it up with the people down there.
It's going to go to Hendricks to the right. Picks up a couple.
So there they are, guys. You know, in that 3rd and 1 situation, this is exactly what they like. You getting that short yardage, and now there's a lot of things you can do because you know Josh Hendricks can probably pick up that yard anytime you want him to.
It's going to be 3rd and 4 from the 46. Or excuse me, the 45.
Caleb Deere in shotgun here.
It's going to be a handoff to Hendricks again.
He was stood up right at the line of scrimmage and just kept those legs pumping, legs churning, and still ends up with a first down out of it.
First down.
Not a super clean exchange there out of the handoff, but that probably is what happens when you have a brand new quarterback that you haven't played with. You know, Caleb's probably playing mostly with the second team, and he is a taller guy too. You know, that does change the way that handoff kind of feeds into your belly.
He's 6'3".
We've talked about this before, though, Jackson. Caleb Deere is just like Grant in the
Dual
respect
threat.
that he's a dual threat. Yep.
He can run and pass. Here's a carry by Race Wilson. Cuts back up to his right. Picks up 5.
Smart play to take that up inside rather than trying to get that around the outside in the end. Minot looks like they're a little more prepared for that this second half, and Wilson turns it up for a 6-yard gain.
But, boy, you see the maturity that's kind of developing here out of Race Wilson. He planted that left foot into the carpet and got to his right side instantly. It was just explosive, and it turned what looked like maybe it was just going to be a couple into 6.
Well, so often it's about can you get north and south? Can you get downhill on someone?
Nice
just like
carry
Caden
there
Rahr there did.
by Caden Rahr up to the 25. First down Mustangs.
Speaking of north and south, boy, when he gets north and south, just like Hendricks, he's tough to bring down. He's a big boy.
He can truck you over. Caden Rahr's had a lot of nice runs this year. Mustangs get up to the 24.
Into the red zone here now. Just over 9 minutes to play.
Hand off to Rahr. Once again, he cuts back up to his left.
Not as much room on that run on first down, but still able to pick up a couple, I believe.
I was going to say, yeah, it's still positive yardage. And that's the number of times that we've seen Sheyenne turn what looks to be minimal or no gains into 2, 3, 4 yards tonight and really all season. You know, that's been one of those difference makers. We talk a lot about those 3rd and short or 3rd and manageable and 4th and very short yardages. It's because you're always making positive yardage on these plays.
That's going to go to Hendricks to the left. Picks up a few, around 3 or 4 yards, just inching away.
And, you know, we've made a big point of talking about these running backs, but it all starts up front. Our linemen are tremendous. Selheim, I think, if I recall, signed this week at Moorhead State as well. Boy, that's a big get for them. And he's really turned into arguably one of the top 3 linemen in the state.
It's going to be another carry to the left side. Race Wilson on that carry. Just short of the first down.
About 4th and 1, 1.5.
4th and 1 from the 15.
You know, this could be a run up the gut.
Might be a chance to take them by surprise and maybe see if Deere can find somebody, maybe a Xander Newton, somebody, one of those longer receivers, throw something up there for them.
Or Logan
They're going to stay in the tight flex,
like
so I don't think we're going to see that.
That's going to go to Hendricks. Who do you know? Hendricks picks up the first down all the way up to the 5.
Gentlemen, that's twice now where Magicians have absolutely sold out on the dive, and he still picked up plus 10 yards on the carry.
It's almost guaranteed for Hendricks. He knows he's going to get that first down before the play begins. 1st and goal from the 5.
I think you were right, Aaron. You know, it's only high school, so Hendricks and Rar can't buy Rolexes for those linemen, but they certainly should be taking them out to.
Oh, a little fumble here. Deere's going to get the ball, though. He recovers, but he's tackled back at the 7.
Those running backs should be taking them to an all-you-can-eat buffet or something and really treating those guys because they open a lot of holes for the running backs for Cheyenne.
I've seen some of these offensive linemen eat down in the cafeteria. I'm not so sure they can't eat a Rolex worth of all-you-can-eat.
So after that little fumble on the snap there, it's going to be 2 yards back, 2nd and goal from the 7.
Deere bringing in the play here. And now, you know, does the playbook open up? Let's see what Caleb Deere can do here. A little bit extra yardage.
That's going to go to Hendricks. He cuts over to the left. Doesn't pick up much. Right around where they were 2 plays ago. That's up to the 5. Number 8, Owen Czar on the stop. So 3rd and goal from the 6.
Maybe look for that pitch option for Deere out here. Race Wilson on a little jet sweep action, something like that. Maybe even that motion that Cheyenne's been able to turn into so many offside penalties. Maybe something so you get something easy, and I think that's going to be a false start. They weren't set.
Deere was going to drop back.
That's the second time, I believe,
false start.
It may have been on the same play that we have run that tight flex pass play, and we've gone off sides. I'm not sure if we're calling that play too quick and the linemen aren't set or who's kind of jumping there, but I think that's happened to us twice tonight.
Especially inside the 10.
And this makes it a little trickier now, 3rd and 11.
They'll probably go to the air here. Caleb Deere was dropping back to pass on that last play. Yep, he looks like he's alone in the backfield there. Deere takes the snap, drops back, dumps it off to the left. I believe that's going to be Race Wilson on the catch.
4th and goal from the 5 for the Mustangs.
Pretty nice design there, I think, that tried to get Race Wilson in a one-on-one matchup on the outside, and good job there by the Magicians making the tackle in the open field.
So 4th and goal, last chance here for the Mustangs, trying to go up 4 scores here with a little under 4.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter from the 5.
And this has been more the traditional type of Cheyenne drive, a little slower pace, eating up 2/3 of the quarter already, and this is the only possession of the quarter is.
Deere rolls to his right.
Deere rolls.
He gets rid of it. Incomplete. Looking over the middle there.
Looked like it came off the right in front of Holsing, kind of skipped at him there. And that's going to be a turnover on downs, I believe. There's a little bit of confusion. I'm not sure what they're looking at here.
There was a flag, but
I don't believe there is. I think that is a turnover on downs. Minot comes off the field, and the defense comes back on. So Minot holds, gentlemen. Yeah, I think you said, Coach, they used 3/4 of the quarter. They used 3/4 of the quarter from the 50-yard line.
That's true.
And that's what makes it so difficult is their time of possession, and they don't even have to occupy an 80-yard drive to do it.
And we talked last week about how difficult that is for an opposing offense to have any rhythm or continuity coming when you sit for so long off the field on the sideline and then coming in and trying to make things happen.
That's going to be a handoff to the right. It's going to be a little counter action there.
I think Tribe came up and made the tackle in the interior. Nice tackle there by Matt Tribe.
Blaze Ferry on the carry. Matt Tribe, the leading tackler for the Mustangs, coming into this one. He has 66 tackles on the year.
9 minutes to go in the game. Shanley Deacon 28, Mandan Braves 20.
Update here at the stadium. Shanley continues to lead Mandan 28-20.
9 minutes to go.
9 minutes left in the game. Obviously, Mustang fans interested in the outcome of that.
Mustangs edge Shanley out on homecoming night, 36-29. Long pass there from Spurraw. That's incomplete.
Great position by Tate Gustafson. Step for step with him. Kept his hands off him. And really just the only way you were going to make anything happen with that is you had to throw it pretty much on a dime with that, and that wasn't what happened.
It was a pretty good ball, throwing it to the outside that way, and it looked pretty impressive, but unable to catch that one over on the sideline.
Spurraw was looking for number 14, Tyson Ruzicka. Third and 5 from the Magicians' 10-yard line. Spurraw drops back again. Pass is incomplete over his head.
So that one sails long, and that puts Minot in a position where they're probably going to have to punt here, 4th and 5 from their own 10-yard line. They struggled a little bit, I think, to get this snap off the last 2 times. I'm not sure if the Mustangs will bring some pressure here with Minot pinned against the end line, but we'll see.
So by contrast, Cheyenne holds the ball for almost 8 minutes of the third quarter on their first drive. It's a 3 and out or 4 and out for Minot here, and they're going to possess the ball for about a minute.
Gustafson receives the punt right around the 43. He gets up to the 35. Tackled out of bounds. 9-yard return there by Gustafson. Yeah, as you were talking about the possession, based on the trend here, the Magicians might have only 1 or 2 drives at most to go in this game, and they're down 3 scores.
3 scores. How do you make that happen? You know, you're going to have to turn Cheyenne over at some point if you're going to have a chance.
Quickly.
Or you're going to have to do some kind of big play to make something happen.
You're going to have to get a lot of quick stops to have a chance. And that's not very likely, as the Mustangs do a good job of just keeping it on the ground and controlling the clock.
Deere out
Deere
with the
fakes
offense
it.
again.
Oh, that's fumbled by Rar off of the pitch, but he recovers.
And again, I think maybe that's just a function of not having a lot of reps with that group, with Deere running that option and that pitch. Maybe it comes a little lower at a little different pace than it might have come from Working Team. So it's a loss of 4 on that play.
Yeah, that one did look a little odd from the start. I don't know. There was something in the rhythm on that play that just didn't look quite right from the get-go, and fortunate that the Mustangs were able to drop on that.
This is a handoff to Wilson. He cuts up past the 30. Nice gain there from Race Wilson, turning on the Jets, getting around the end on the left side there.
That was a nice job by Hendricks there. He got out. He got a little chip on the defensive end to get Race past the end, and then he continued on to that second level and kicked out a linebacker, and that sprang Wilson for a few extra yards. So you take that 2nd and 14 and turn it into a 3rd and 5, and now something that's a little more manageable for Cheyenne.
Josh Hendricks, you know, with that size, that 6 foot, 220-pound frame, he's also a valuable blocker, as there's a handoff up the middle to number 32, Josh Hendricks.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of teams on the planet that play high school football that have guys that are running at that size. Most of those guys are probably playing offensive line. He's a defensive line, and here he is. He's the cannonball that's running you over.
Minute and 20 remaining here in the third. So 13 minutes and 20 seconds of total regulation time in this game to go. It's another handoff to Hendricks. Up the middle, not much.
But he does pick up the first down on 4th and 1.
First down, 4th and short. Mustangs move the chains.
So after a negative play on first down, they're still able to get into that yardage that they like, where they say, hey, Josh, go pick up a yard or 2 for us.
Mustang, the ball will be spot at the 24.
It is worth mentioning, too, you know, Josh Hendricks at the end of last year was injured. I believe it was a foot injury, if I recall correctly. and he was able to come back for the championship game, I believe, but, the rhythm wasn't quite the same.
It was tough against that Century D line.
But, I'm sure that's played into his kind of mindset this year, and he has just delivered time and time again.
He's finishing his high school career on a pretty high note. He's got 3 more career games at most.
Cheyenne's going to take a timeout here. Coach Newton thought there was probably an offsides that should have been called, and he's not happy about that, but we'll take a quick break here and see you on the other side.
You're watching Sheyenne Mustang Media.
So we are back here at Essentially Health Mustang Stadium. Some score updates for a couple of the other quarterfinal games. West Fargo High leads Bismarck Legacy 26-11 over at West Fargo High there across, or 26-0, excuse me, over at West Fargo High. And then Shanley still leads Mandan 28-20. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game.
I was talking to a couple of guys in the office today. The interesting matchup, thank God the Packers are on the other side. They've been playing some really good football. Jay Gibson, he is a tremendous coach over there in West Fargo, and those boys, they just know how to play come postseason, and they're rolling right now.
And it's it seems like a really long time ago when Cheyenne and West Fargo squared off. So obviously West Fargo's not the same team that Cheyenne handled early in the season. That'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. West Fargo Cheyenne still leading the Minot Magicians 22-0. We'll take a break and see you at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
So we are back here, the fourth quarter about to get underway here. Shanley just scored a touchdown against Mandan. They lead 35-20. And Mustangs lead here coming into the fourth quarter, 22-0. 12 minutes away from their 6th shutout of the season and their 4th win against Minot all time. Deer's going to pitch it. Bad pitch there. That's recovered in the backfield.
And that's twice now that's turned into a negative play. There just doesn't seem to be sort of a connection
that was
between Deer and Rar on that right-hand pitch.
I think that's, like we just the game moves a step faster at the varsity level, and Deer probably isn't used to seeing it quite that way, and so he's maybe being a little faster with that pitch and putting a little more zip on it than maybe someone like Workentine who's done this for a few years. And then as a result, it's led to 2 fumbles. Fortunately for Cheyenne, they've been able to recover both times, but now you're facing a 2nd and 15 or 2nd and 13. 3rd and 13, sorry.
Wilson's going to keep it. He's tackled right around the 25.
Pretty good job there by Minot by stretching that play out and had a lot of pursuit on the backside. And Wilson had no place to go on that one.
So you got 4th and 10. What do you do here if you're Cheyenne? Obviously, we're not going to punt.
Keep the ball, and I think they're going to go to the air here. I mean, what else are you going to do? Might as well.
This could be one of those things where we look at different options, and Deer breaks the pocket, and he takes it himself, too. You never know.
Deer's going to keep it himself. He just gets rid of it. He pitches it to Caden Rar on the right. Caden Rar is going to get the first down.
Well, we said it didn't work the first 2 times. They made it work that time.
Third time's a charm.
Great patience by Deere. He was in the grasp of a Minot defender and still able to get a nice pitch out that time. Rar was expecting this one, delivered in the right spot, and you kind of saw some heads hang over on the Minot sideline. They thought here was a chance to finally get a stop, and now you have Sheyenne knocking on the doorstep again at the 15-yard line.
Hey, credit to Coach Newton, too. Go to the well. Call it again. Make these kids do it right, and tell them you believe in them, that they're going to get it done, and Deere and Rar got it done that time.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 14.
And another fumble.
Oh, it's going to be fumbled there, but Hendricks is able to recover. That was going to go to Hendricks up the middle.
And still a gain of 2 somehow.
Gain of 2 off of the
A gain of 2 on a fumble for a 2nd and 8.
2nd and 9.
2nd and 9. A yard.
So 1 yard. 1 yard.
1 yard fumble gain.
This ball's going to be spotted at the 13. Mustangs trying to go up 4 scores and extend the lead to 28 on this drive.
So if you're Sheyenne, you're able to punch in here as we see Rar getting down near first down territory. Do you now start really going to the reserves, being up 4 scores, 8 minutes left or so probably in the 4th quarter by the time it's said and done? Do you finally start saying, man, we got to start thinking big picture here?
You know, it's hard to say. They have a nice little rhythm in their tight flex right now. You know, it's always one of those things. You look like an idiot if somebody gets hurt, but you know that's football. You know, they're going to keep these guys in here and trust that you know this is what they've been trained to do.
Hand off to Hendricks up the middle. He's going to get in for his 2nd touchdown of the evening, his 20th of the year, and the Mustangs go up 28-0 with 8:38 to play here in the 4th.
And that was what Josh Hendricks was trained to do, find the end zone. It's unbelievable. He's got a nose for it. You get in that inside that 10-yard range, not a lot of linebackers want to come up and hit him in the helmet, that's for sure.
No.
And you hit him anywhere above the knee, and you're probably flying off of it.
That extra point is blocked.
Yeah, that was Ben's fumbled the snap there a little bit, and the timing got thrown off, and so that one wasn't going to work. But still a 28-zip lead, 4-score difference with 8:38 left in the 4th quarter.
This might be Minot's really last chance to do something here, and they're really playing for pride at this point as they're down 28-0. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in around 30 seconds. Mustangs about to kick off here as after Josh Hendricks punched it in from 3 yards out for his 2nd score of the evening, 20th of the year. Here's the kick by Birnbaum, received right around the 23, tackled up around the 40. Number 14, Tyson Rusika on the return there. Matt Tribe on the stop. So the Magicians will start a little bit past the 30 on potentially their final drive of the game. If the Mustangs get the ball back, they'll probably just run out the clock and win the game.
And I think we're starting to see some of those reserves in here, maybe a mixture for Coach Newton and the Mustangs, but probably giving some of those younger kids a little taste of what playoff football is like.
Here's Spur on the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, dumps it off to his left side, caught right around the 40.
Nice design on that play, and
Kitchen on the reception.
Pretty fortunate that the Mustangs were able to find that tackle on the sideline because Minot was able to kind of clear out that edge. And looked like they might have been able to get up the sideline and scoot up for a few more yards, but as is, only got about 6.
Single back formation here. It's going to be to Blaze Ferry, I believe. He breaks free up past the 40. Nice run there by Blaze Ferry, number 7.
And just like that, in comes our tackler, Matt Tribe. He's going to come back into the game after that one. There is probably some element of preserving the shutout. And you know, I don't know, Jackson, when was the last time somebody got one in the end zone on us?
Well, I believe that was 3 weeks ago. Fargo North scored 13 points on us the last 2 weeks. That was a shutout. We shut out Bismarck Century 2 weeks ago, and then Fargo Davies last week. Fargo North was actually leading on us 13-7 at halftime. We shut them out in the second half.
That's just it. So shutout in the second half of that one. Then we had a shutout the next 2 games, and we have 3/4 of a shutout here. You know, it's been a long time since this Mustang group has let somebody into that pay dirt.
They've only given up 56 points all year. It's going to be a handoff to the right. Talon Judd on the carry.
And that's
Tribe and Men's.
Yeah. Those two collided for, I think it might have ended up being maybe a half-yard gain at most. And so now we got a 3rd and short.
3rd and 4 from the 32 with 6:50 to play here.
Empty set here.
Empty set. It's going to be a motion. Rusica in motion. He's going to get the handoff on the jet sweep there a little bit. He's going to be stopped in the backfield.
Good discipline there by the right side of the defense. They weren't having none of that. They saw the motion guy come across. They knew they had to stay there contained, and he ran into about 3 guys that said, "You're not getting around here." And ends up being a -3 on the play.
4th and 7. Possibly last chance here for the Magicians to do something. Spur on the shotgun. He'll roll to his right. Looks downfield. Passes caught by Kitchen. Up to the 20. That's going to be a 15-yard reception and a 1st down.
Tanner Hegel thought he had a chance at that, and good little touch there from Spera just to get it over the top of Hegel's outstretched arms. And Minot's going to move the chains.
Did look like it was going to be picked off, but that was 4th down as well. All you really had to do was just knock it down.
Spera drops back. He looks to his left. Passes incomplete.
I think he might have saw number 8 coming there and maybe some flashbacks at the end of the first half. Got rid of it maybe a half a second sooner than he wanted. And the receiver in the area hadn't quite made his break out of his route yet.
Second and 10. Magicians in the red zone here, seeing if they can get on the board for the first time of the night. Spera takes a snap. He's going to keep it to the left side. He fights for extra yards, picks up 5.
Pretty good run there.
Actually, he's going to pick up around 3 or 4 yards.
And you had to get a positive play there so that you can have a couple of plays here that might, at least give you an opportunity to pick up a 1st down, continue this drive, and see if you can punch one into the end zone and give yourself a little bit of a moral victory before you get out of here. Obviously, the Mustangs are intent on stopping that from happening.
Yeah,
they're a prideful team, and they want to keep this team off the scoreboard.
That's the number 7 Blaze Ferry. Picks up just a couple. Magicians inching a little closer to the 1st down. They're going to need to get to around the 10.
So 4th and 3 here now.
4th and 3 from the 13. See if the Mustangs can make a 4th down stand inside their own red zone. little delayed on the snap. That's going to be a timeout.
Pretty smart discipline there by the Mustangs. I assume he was going to a hard count there, and that was looked like for a second somebody tried to move and stayed back, but hey, nothing going. So with that, we're going to take a quick timeout.
So we are back here with just 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here in this AA quarterfinal matchup between the Magicians and the Mustangs. Mustangs lead 28-0. The Magicians need to pick up 3 yards to keep this drive going. This will be their last chance to get some points on the board. They need to get to the 10 to pick up the first down. Spur on the shotgun. He's going to keep it up the middle. He's going to get the first down, and he's going to be in for the touchdown. A 13-yard rushing touchdown by Jaden Spurraw, the quarterback, and he gets the Magicians their first 6 points of the evening.
So that's the first touchdown by Minot against Sheyenne.
This year.
This year, you know, it was 37-0 the first time, 28-6 right now. So obviously that's got to feel a little bit good to finally be able to punch one in.
As you mentioned, Jackson, you know, there's some pride on the line here, too, for Minot, and they want to make
Minot tried to
run as the extra point attempt is.
Tried to fake it there. The holder rolled out to his right and was sacked.
But I guess that's one thing Minot can say. We scored on Sheyenne.
Not many teams can say that this year.
Not many teams can, and that might ease that 4-hour bus trip back to Minot tonight.
You know, for these Minot kids, especially the seniors, you know, it's a long journey playing high school football, and that ride home is going to mean a lot for a lot of different reasons. And you know, credit to any guy that's willing to put on the cleats and put on the helmet, because it's a lot of work to play football. You got to be a certain kind of guy, and you know, they got seniors that probably have a lot of pride too, and so
absolutely, I think any high school athlete knows that the end comes at some point, but maybe you're not always prepared for that, and when the immediacy of that happens, that's hard to deal with. So you know, credit Minot. They've come and they've given their best shot, and they were able to score tonight, but obviously this is going to close out the careers of the seniors on that squad. Not, you know, where Sheyenne is very senior heavy. I don't think Minot is quite as much, and maybe that reflects a little bit. Obviously, their skill positions have been, but quarterback's only a junior. So, you know, they probably have some things to look forward to for next year as well.
And they're a good football team. They hold a 295-81 record since 1975. They made the postseason 23 times in the last 25 years, including a stretch there where they made it 21 years in a row.
Oh, a little trickery here. We'll see what kind of onside kick they set up. Our hands team is out ready for this one.
Having a little fun here, the Magicians are.
Nice job there
Trying
by
to pull
Matt
some
Tribe.
magic.
Matt Tribe pulls that one down.
It popped up the way you wanted, but it was right to Tribe, and he was waiting for it and ready.
Pretty nice design there out of that onside kick. They got a lot of different movement and got a lot of different looks. Mustangs didn't actually shift their position once, and Matt Tribe was able to snag that one.
Maybe the Magicians that's their mascot name for a reason.
That's right.
Up there in the Magic City.
Something pulling something out of the hat, I guess. And now it looks like this is the second team in. Caleb Deere brings the second team roster in. So
it's going to be a handoff up the middle.
Take a look there. I think that's going
to be
Isaac Kanega on the first run.
And they did announce here at the stadium that I didn't hear the score, but Shanley has defeated Mandan. So Obviously, it looks like with only 4 minutes left and a 22-point lead, it looks like a rematch of that very exciting game. First home game of the season and homecoming for Sheyenne.
And Sheyenne edged Shanley out 36-29. They're actually trailing late in the game there. They were trading scores. Aiden Divine from Shanley had over 250 rushing yards on the game against us, so it's been the best rushing performance against Sheyenne all year. And, you know, Sheyenne was able to drive down the field late. Logan Holsing caught a 4th down pass to keep the drive going, and then the Mustangs eventually punched it in to take the lead. And then their defense made a 3-and-out stop on the last drive for the Deacons.
And, you know, scheme-wise, if there's a team that can try to put you in a tough position, the Deacons are definitely capable of doing that.
It's going to be handoff to the left side to Race Wilson. Tackled right around the 44.
Looks like they're going to use another timeout here.
With 3:55 remaining, we're going to come back and take a short break of 30 seconds. We'll be back shortly. Mustangs lead 28-6.
Personnel shift. Got a and then they're able to draw them off sides. But, yeah.
We got automatic 5 yards there gained.
Looks like Caden Rahr's back in. Hendrick's back in.
Working team.
Race Wilson. No, I think
it's working team.
Working team back in there as well.
And short for the Mustangs.
So the Mustangs doing something here to close up shop.
Deer's going to pitch it to Caden Rahr. Caden Rahr is trying to cut back to his left, but he's swallowed up right around the 40. We do like to thank his parents tonight for donating as one of our sponsors. His dad's company, Evolve Concrete, and then his mom's company, Mode Travel. Along with a long list of our other sponsors, the Wilson family, Thrivent Financial, that's Lex Lundy's company, MJ Capelli, Second Nature Woodworks, J. Greenwood Law, Dave's Tires, American Family Insurance, and Outlet Recreation Marine Center of Fargo.
Number 32, Josh Hendricks.
So with 3:10 to go, Mustangs do pick up that first down. And it looks like the starters are going to stay on the floor here.
Minot still has 2 timeouts in their pockets, but down 22 with 3 minutes. I don't know if they're in any rush, unless they sent something, maybe a stop or a yardage loss against Sheyenne. Maybe they might burn one, but otherwise I would think Minot's going to be content to just let this run out.
Deer's going to, looks like he's going to keep it here. He's tackled right around the 31.
That was Warkentine.
Or Warkentine's back in.
Yeah, so
didn't realize he put Warkentine back in. Thought he was going to keep Deer in there. But, yeah, that's Graham Warkentine on the carry. He's back in for this last drive here with less than 2.5 minutes remaining.
And I'm sure they're just looking to run this clock out here. A couple of edge runs here have picked up some yardage.
Warkentine's going to fake the handoff to Hendricks. Tried to pitch it to Wilson, but failed to do so.
So a negative play there.
Negative play there. Graham Warkentine was able to recover it.
But with 1:55 left.
Not worried about much.
I'm sure they're okay with just putting another run together here. Yeah. And if they have to, punt the football and finish this game up.
Minot opting not to stop the clock here. So at 1:35, looks like it'll be Cheyenne's ball or possession just to run timeout.
Wilson motions. Grand Work Team's going to keep it. Tackled right around the 40.
So it is worth mentioning. It looks like the Mustangs get through another game without significant injury, and that is obviously one of the most important things that you need to do to make a nice run in the postseason.
And as we start to look forward with under a minute now to go, I'm a big believer in sports that really matchups determine a lot. And as we mentioned, that was a tight game with Shanley the first time that the two teams squared off this year. And, that is one thing that Shanley has is a lot of good skill position players, and that will cause trouble for
Work Team
Cheyenne.
looks deep for Caden Rahr. Caden Rahr tried to moss him, but that play is broken up.
So that will be a turnover on downs with 34 seconds to go.
And for you folks older than 16 in the audience tonight, that's just indicated that Caden Rahr was going to jump over the top of the defender and try and make that catch.
That is the saying, though.
I'm
get
aware.
mossed.
I've heard.
We've had a couple of those. Xander Newton actually mossed, I believe, a Grand Forks Central defender in the first game of the year. That was one of his 3 receiving touchdowns this year. So turnover on downs. Magicians will get the ball at the 40 here. Last couple of plays of this quarterfinal matchup. Handoff up the middle to Ferry. With less than 30 seconds remaining, it looks like the Mustangs
should be the last play of the game.
Mustangs are going to capture the victory, 28-6. They'll advance to the semifinals once again for the 4th straight year, I believe so, and they extend their playoff record to 7-6, and they keep their undefeated season alive at 10-0, and they're one win away from their 3rd straight Dakota Bowl appearance. The Magicians, they'll fall short. This will be their 4th straight year falling short of 500, and they're gonna look to rebound next year to get back and make another run at the postseason, because they made the state championship 4 years ago against West Fargo back in 2017, but came up short. What do you guys think of the Mustangs tonight? They did what they do as usual. They controlled the clock. They take the W 28-6, and Josh Hendricks had a couple scores on the evening.
Well, they stayed on script, Coach, especially through the first 3 quarters. Tough to kind of stay on point into the 4th quarter. Maybe it got a little bit sloppy there with some exchange of personnel, but the Mustangs still did what they needed to do. They came and they took care of business. They got the W. They advanced. The defense continues to play at an unbelievably high level. The offense is efficient, and at the end of the day, it's hard to argue that this is not the best team in the state of North Dakota.
That's certainly the way it appears. It was choppy in the second half, but Cheyenne didn't fall into that trap of looking ahead. They were focused on the task at hand tonight and easily handled the Minot Magicians. And now we have that rematch of that very tightly contested game from the beginning of the season. I would guess both teams would say they're not the exact same team that they were almost 2 months ago now. So this will be an exciting game next week as Cheyenne will host Shanley for a berth in the Dakota Bowl.
And so Cheyenne, they extend their record to 10-0 on the season. They knock off the Magicians 28-6, who finish at 2-8 on the year. The Mustangs will host Shanley next week here at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. Winner advances to the Dakota Bowl, which will take place November 12th. That's a Friday at 6:30 p.m. up at the Fargo Dome. So for Jackson Miller,
I'm Aaron Knodel.
I'm Dan Wolf.
Mustang Media is out.